Are you triggered? Perfect. I thought that would happen quicker, to be honest, when I looked at you at the beginning. What do you think? Here, this is your moment to speak. What should happen now? If this was your... You're good? This is not okay. This is not okay. Do you have kids? Look, we could do this the easy way.
Remember MAGA comedian Ben Bankas?
This is not funny. People are laughing, but this is wrong. This should be illegal. Think it should be illegal to do that? Make some noise if you think everything I did should be illegal. And that's why we need the 51st state, folks. We need some freedom of speech. Make sure this creature doesn't get into fucking parliament. She'll take away our... If she had power, she would take away your rights immediately. What did you say? Nobody can say that ever again. Like, if she could freeze my bank account right now, she would freeze my bank account. Like, if she had the power to do it, she might actually. She kind of looks like she works at RBC. So she might... I love that your friend here is, like, just trying not to laugh. So...
Well, fresh off bombing north of the border.
To be honest, like, this is pretty entertaining. But you're upset, and she's like, I can't laugh because I want you to have... She wants you to have a good night. And I think you will have a good night. You got the see-through shirt on. I mean, go to King Street. You'll be, you'll end up on the 80th floor of some building with a bunch of Arab dudes in no time. Oh, all right. Really happy. Thank you, Toronto, USA.
He has some big news to share.
Trump. Yeah. What do you not like about it? I'm just curious. Yeah. Okay. Well, I also do that. You guys saw the comics on the show earlier, right? And what do you do out of curiosity for a living? Translation. So like a Chinese person comes up to you like, oh, and they're like, he hates Trump. Trust me, I translated it.
Look, if you are in the state of New York, you are in luck.
They only date Democrat men. It never used to be like this. When I grew up, when we grew up, your mom would be kind of Democrat, your dad was a Republican, he kept her in line. That's why they never got too crazy. Because your mom would be like, well, maybe we should let more people into the country from Haiti, and it is horrible how they live there. And then your dad was like, you're a we let those people in the country, in 10 years, they're going to be barbecuing cats and dogs in their backyard. Who was right? Dad. And that's how you should have grown up, with your mother always saying, your father is always right. Your father is always right. And if you didn't grow up with that, your dad was a Democrat. And if your dad was a Democrat, your dad was homosexual. Which means you actually had two moms. Are you booing that? Are you deaf? Why? Oh, well. What do you think this is? Oh, okay, all right. My parents are deaf. My parents are dead. At least you get to visit mom and she goes, oh, we're doing dead. We're dead.
Because you have the chance to see Ben Bankas live at the New York Comedy Festival in November.
Ben Bankas of this video has gotten my video talking about him taken down for hate speech. The guy who said this to a woman in front of a whole crowd. Took my video down for hate speech because I was talking about how he was unfunny. And yeah, sure, I called him the fat version of a much funnier comedian. But that triggered him and he had to get my video taken down when it was reaching over 5 million views because he's a fragile little snowflake. Mind you, the same man in this video took one look at this woman and said this. She'll take away, if she had power, she would take away your rights immediately. And then saw me talking about him and decided to shut me up. Take away my right to free speech or whatever. Rules for thee, not for me type people, I swear to God. And I remind you, he posted the video himself. He posted the video onto his own Twitter profile and then began to make merch surrounding this whole controversy once he started getting some flack from it. And then, of course, started aligning himself with people like this and posting more clips of his stand-up where he says things like this. Because that's what unfunny people do when they're being dragged on the internet for being unfunny. They align themselves with the most unfunny group of people imaginable. These types of people don't know humor. They are incapable of comprehending what a joke actually is.
He would get trolled online by popular Twitter account Right Wing Cope. MAGA comedian Ben Bankas gets banned from Verbo for unleashing an endless jihad of diarrhea on the living room floor at a rental in Richmond.
I mean, I was in Boston. I was at the Boston Logan Airport, and a family of Somalians came. A typical Somali family, right? You know, 1 husband, 3 wives, 10 children. And, you know, all the women are wearing, you know, curtains, just that with a hole in it for the face. Resting Ilhan Omar face. They weren't really bothering me other than they were in my line. I'm just looking at them being like, they got. And then they did the move. They flipped from the general boarding line, screening line, and got in the priority line, which everybody I mean, if they're wearing a burqa, you're like, I really And the TSA guy was like, no, you can't do that. And then the woman just started speaking at him in her language. She was just like,
Cope would troll some more. Ben Bankas issued a refund by DoorDash for $263.27 after 5 guys canceled this order because it was too gluttonous. To the surprise of no one, Bankas hit the scene with Tony Hinchcliffe and Kill Tony.
What's going on? I got 2 kids. I just had my second kid. And, yeah, my wife, she tells people, yeah, we had a second kid, you know, for our daughter. So she'd have a friend. Like, yeah, that's what I was thinking, too. Just my wife, like, oh, it's for my daughter. Yeah, she needs a friend real bad.
His performance at the New York Comedy Festival comes on the heels of Bankas being barred from performing in British Columbia. That followed a show at the Grey Eagle Casino right near Calgary being shuttered as well.
Now for a moment of silence for Renee Good.
You know, I think Ben, people of his ilk, and there are many other comedians like him. Yeah. They believe they're speaking truth to power, and they believe at some level that they are some type of, you know, George Carlin, Bill Hicks type of, reincarnation. And this has been said by many people many times. Dude, George Carlin would hate you. George punching down. This is easy pickings, low-hanging fruit. I don't consider it good comedy. Mm-hmm. There's no actual joke writing going into the bulk of it. Look, Ben's roots are racist from the beginning. His comedy was mediocre, and what he discovered during the pandemic was this impersonation of Theresa Tam that he did. Really struck a nerve with a lot of people who were like, I don't want to get vaccinated. I want to not be able to go to my job. I don't want to have to do this. And so he struck a nerve, and he's really sort of capitalized.
Fellow comedian Ali Hassan spoke out on Bankas, and he is not wrong.
Thing that I find unusual, and it's not a criticism so much, but his targets are underdogs. And comedy traditionally has picked on people in power, people who abuse their power. Women and gays and immigrants are kind of, to my way of thinking, underdogs. I think he's appealing largely, I think his core audience are young white males who are threatened by these groups. I think a lot of these guys aren't sure of their manhood because that's a problem when you're going through adolescence. You know, could I be? I hope I'm not one of them. And the women who assert themselves and are competent are a threat to these men, and so are immigrants in terms of jobs and the
so that's why we as an audience then will laugh.
You say we, I don't think you're
but I think you're collective we.
I think that's what is at the core of that experience that takes place in these arenas. Is a certain, a sharing of anger and rage at these targets.
Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYTsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.